Hey. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another edition of Tuesday Talks with Lady O. I am Olivia B. Shepherd. You are that would like totally go off while I'm get on here. All right, so hey, welcome to another day, another Tuesday. And this Tuesday is a little bit special because it's my 14 days of self-love Lady Y'all Tuesday Talk edition. Because 14 days, I go hard about self-love for 14 days. And even though you should be practicing self-love every single day of the week, every single day of the year, every single month of the year, I think a lot of people really don't get it. So I like to do the self-love series for 14 days, just because people need an actual a lesson, okay? And I think what happens is people forget that, okay? You forget how to love yourself because you're busy about your day, hustle and bustle, so you kind of forget about how to love yourself. And in the middle of March, you're forgetting how to love yourself. In the middle of June, when it's hot and the kids are out of school and you got so much going on, you forget how to love yourself. And I teach this a lot, especially because self-love is so important, really, and I'm not gonna get into the topics yet, but it's really important for your mental health and your mental well-being. You know, it's self-love is important for your happiness. I mean, you have to practice it. And I think a lot of people get the misconception that when you practice self-love, it means the bubble baths and massages and, going on shopping sprees or pedicures and stuff like that. That's not everything that has to do with self-love. You can show yourself self-love. Matter of fact, in my post on Instagram and in my Facebook group, I just gave you 5 things you could do to start practicing self-care. And it was something simple like pat yourself on the back. Something simple like that can actually be self-care. If you do something, I don't care how minor it is. I don't care anything that you do that you accomplish is a victory for you, then you celebrate that. That's an act of self-care. Self-care is, self-love. Well, self-care and self-love, same thing. To me, they coincide. Self-love is a deliberate act that you do for yourself. Okay, this hair, something is in my eye. Self-love is a deliberate act. Okay, excuse me. Because something is in my eye badly. Okay. Oh. And I can't even see when I take my glasses off. It's a shame. I can't even see when I take my glasses off, but something is in my eye. Okay. Again, self-love is a deliberate act that you do for yourself. Something that you do that takes care of you. Okay, hence why self-care and self-love kind of coincide. Not something somebody else does for you, not you waiting around for somebody else to do something for you. It is a deliberate act that you take for yourself. Okay, I practice self-love by buying fresh cut flowers all the time. I don't have to wait for Valentine's Day or for my husband to send me any flowers. I have been a fresh cut flower girl all of my life. I love all things about fresh cut flowers. I put them all over the house, including in my bathrooms, because even on my worst days, when you get up and you start to see those buds bloom, even in the wintertime, the tulips bloom, it's just something about fresh cut flowers. And that is my thing. So I always go to the store. They're like, and I think at Publix, I think everybody has a Publix in their town. In Publix, you can get the fresh cut flowers for like 3 for $12. And I just mix and match them. You don't always have to buy roses. I'm not that much of a fan of roses. They're beautiful. But I'm not a big fan of roses. I just like flowers all day long. I keep them in my house. So that's how you can practice self-love without having to do all of the the baths and the nails and all of that stuff. You don't have to do all that stuff. Something like buying yourself flowers, something like literally patting yourself on the back. If you are if you're suffering from mental health issues just like me, you know, getting out of the bed in the mornings is something that you need to do. Okay, it is something that you can do every single morning. I'm sorry, they wait till I get on the phone to start calling me. Okay, so it is something just like that. Something literally just like that. Okay, so let's get into why self-love is so important. I will give you 3 reasons why they are important to me. Okay, I practice self-love all the time because it is vital to my mental health. It is vital to my well-being. I do things like set boundaries. I do things like I say no to people and things. I know how to practice self-love without feeling guilty. You know, even if it's taking a nap. If I want to take a nap, if I am tired and I don't feel like yesterday was a bad mental health day for me. So I took a nap. I didn't care what existed. I didn't care what I had to do. I didn't care that, you know, things needed to get done. It wasn't anything that was major. Because I would never put out anything that's major that needs to be done. But if I did need to, I probably would. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. But yesterday was a bad mental health day for me. So I treated myself to self-love. I didn't speak with my husband on the phone. I didn't speak with my son. You know, they both were okay. But from the time I got up from walking the pup to the time I got back, I laid down all day long till it was time for me to go do what I needed to do about 5 o'clock. That was the way I needed to show myself self-love. That was how I needed to take care of my body yesterday. And that's what I did. Okay. Now I know this is a lot harder for those of you who have children, but if your children are in school and you get a chance to be able to clean the house, then sit down. Maybe today you don't get to clean the house. Maybe today you don't do the laundry. You know, it's a lot of ways that you can practice self-love that will help you. Okay, but taking a nap yesterday, my body was exhausted, my mind was exhausted, I was not in a good place. So self-love yesterday looked like to me stay in sleep, and I didn't actually go to sleep all day. I literally just laid there. I didn't answer the phone. I didn't, you know, and I just told my husband, I said, well, it must have been God, because yesterday my phone didn't ring much. My messages didn't go off. Nobody was asking me to do anything. But I credit that to God, because today when I got out, my phone was ringing out the hook, because he was like, okay, today you're in a better place. So he kind of quieted everything for me, just so that I can get my health together, just so I can get my mind together, just so I can start over and reset. Now, usually I love Mondays. I actually did go work out, but yesterday was just a bad day for me. So I took advantage of treating myself to some self-love. So let's get into the 3 reasons why self-love is so important. 1, self-love teaches people how to treat you. I don't care how you put it. If you love yourself, you will not tolerate how people treat you. Okay. I often get asked when people talk about my husband, you know, when my husband does things for me, or, you know, we are, we're doing things, and, you know, people will say, well, I couldn't tell my husband the things you told your husband. Well, it's because you didn't meet anybody that you didn't treat yourself like anything. So everybody you met treated you the way you treated yourself. See, that shows on you. When you don't treat yourself properly, it shows up. And so people treat you according to how you treat yourself. People treat you how you allow them to treat you. See, every guy that I've ever dated, and now to my husband, when I decided what I wanted in a marriage, or what I wanted and what I wanted in a man, I start treating myself accordingly. So I did buy myself flowers, meaning you're gonna have to step up your standards and buy me flowers. I did buy myself nice things. Okay, now you need to step up your standards and buy me nice things. I like going to nice restaurants. That's how I treated myself. See, I did all those things by myself. Why would I let somebody that I don't really know come into my life and treat me like crap when I've been treating myself good for all these years? I'm not going to marry somebody that's going to treat me like crap after I've been married, after I've been single and treated myself good. So when people always ask me, well, do your husband have a brother? My husband treated me the way I not actually taught him, but what I showed him how I treated myself. Because I don't like to say teach him. I don't want anybody to think I'm just like teaching him something. But I did. Technically, I had to teach him. Technically, I guess you have to use that term. I had to teach him how to treat me, because when he came to me, he was treating women a certain way, but that was not going to happen with me. All because I practiced self-love. I decided that nobody would come in my life and treat me disrespectfully because I didn't do myself that way. So a good reason to practice self-love is to learn to teach people how to treat you. Nobody should be abusing you. Nobody should be, and I'm not talking about hitting you or physically or anything like that, but emotional abuse, nobody should be doing any of that. Okay, you shouldn't have coworkers that come to you and dump everything in your lap. You should not have family members that always dump all their baggage on you. You teach people how to treat you. Okay, this is why self-love is important, and this is why you have to practice it, not just February 1st through the 14th, but you need to practice it January 1st through the 31st, December 1st through the 31st. Okay, you have to practice self-love all the time, because if you don't, then you are walking around with other people's baggage. You are walking around taking on other people's problems, doing things for other people. You are not doing things for yourself. And while you're practicing this self-love and you're teaching people how to treat you, you got to learn to say no. You got to learn to say no. You got to say, you know what? This ain't happening today. I'm sorry, I love you, but I can't do this. No, I'm sorry, I'm busy that day. And you got to learn how to say that stuff without feeling guilty. You got to learn how to back away, because guess who is ruining it? Not them. Not the people that's dumping everything on you. It's ruining you. Trust me, I was that person. I took on everybody's problems. I took on everybody's troubles. Things. I did everything for everybody. I was that person. And guess what? When I was tired, when I couldn't take it anymore, nobody came to my rescue. Nobody came to my rescue. No, they demeaned me. They told me when I stopped doing everything for them, when I cut them off, then it was, well, you're no better than me. Yes, you're gonna get all those things when you start practicing self-love. You're gonna get the hate. You're gonna get them saying you're no better than me. You're gonna get all of those things that's gonna come at you. But you walk away and you keep moving. It's not that you don't love them, but it means you love yourself. How do you readjust and change behaviors that you allow while you start showing yourself the love and setting the boundaries? That's a good question. Okay. I had to practice this, and it's harder than it seems. It's not hard as it may seem, because I was addicted and codependent on my family, which was my immediate family. I don't really, not my uncles, cousins, brothers. This was my immediate family. And my immediate family is my father, my mother, my sister, my niece, my nephew. Those are my immediate people that I used to deal with, okay? So the behaviors that they exhibited, I took on, okay? So the cussing, the fussing, the toxic stuff, I was there. And I let people tell me, this is your family. You be with your family no matter what. You do what your family say no matter what. You don't get away from family. And I'm like, what the hell, are we in the mob? Are we really in the mob? Do I really have to be this way? And it's gonna take some time. And I started gradually going away. I started telling them no for things. They had a tendency to call me every time something went down. Because guess who would get up out her bed and run to them? Every time they couldn't handle a situation. Seriously, I would jump up out my bed, get my boots on, ready to go do whatever I needed to do. Soon as I got there, I'm looking like a fool while everybody else is cussing and fussing, shouting. I'm the one looking like a fool. I'm the one getting ready to go to jail. I'm the one doing. But guess what they were saying? They were allowing that to happen to me. So the behaviors that they were displaying, I was taking that on too. I had those same behaviors. But I had to literally back away. And it starts like something simple as when they call you to say, well, can you do this? Or can you handle that? Not today. I can't. Well, why? You ain't doing nothing. You're going to get that stuff. But you got to not let that stuff get in your head. You got to say to yourself, this is about me. This is about me. How are you going to heal and be there for everybody if you ain't healing yourself? If you're not saying no, it's going to take one step at a time, but you are going to have to do it and not feel guilty about it. You can't let people be in your ear. I always constantly hear people say, and it's this little meme or something, the quote that's going around on Facebook. And I see some of my cousins, put it up, throwing the yeah, they're gonna play the guilt trip. Oh, it's the freaking honey, it's gonna be the guilt trip. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be you think you better than me. You think you better than us. Oh, all I got was what you used to, and you used to do that. Yeah, I did, but now I don't. That's what change is about. I no longer do those things anymore. Okay, and I don't let people feel. I don't feel guilty, because going back to what I was about to say about the meme, and I think it has something about why you beefing with your mother, you should be loving your mom or something like that. I see my cousins, which that's their auntie, put that stuff up. They're trying to be shady. My thing is, you don't know my mama the way you think you know my mama, and I do not let people guilt trip me into that. I'm glad you had a great mother. I'm glad you had a great father. I'm glad you had a great sister and brother and close relationships. Everybody don't have that. I didn't have that. And when I started to change and do better for myself, I'm not beefing with my mom. I just put up boundaries. I love her from my household. I love her from a distance. We talk right now. But guess what? And as a matter of fact, she almost crossed that boundary just a week ago. She literally almost crossed the boundary. And before she could cross that boundary, I stopped her. That's not what we're going to do, because I'll hang this phone up. Yes, every relationship is personal. Every relationship is different. And I don't have that relationship with my family. I'm sorry, I don't. Okay, I don't care if it is their auntie. I don't care if it is their cousin. I don't care who it is. I don't have that relationship. That's why it's so important to start your journey of self-love, because you're going to now teach people how to treat you. So you can still be with those people, but now they got to respect your boundaries. They got to now respect you. You got to teach them how to not say things in your presence that they used to say. You got to teach them not to bring their baggage to you. Yes, in your heart, for my people who use that I got a good heart stuff. I keep telling y'all, I got one too. I just don't let you break it. And what you're going to have to do is say, look, I'm healing. I am trying to heal. I can no longer take on this. And guess what? If they don't see that at the moment, they'll get it eventually. And when they do get it, they'll understand. And if they don't, then you need to be prepared to maybe lose some people. And I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of. When they start their self-love journey, when they start their self-healing journey, you're going to lose some people. You're going to lose some people when you decide to give your life to Christ. You're going to have to stop being afraid of losing people that you think you need. Okay? I know that I love my mother. My mother I love her, but I don't like the toxic behavior. I love her. I love my family members, but I don't like their toxic behavior. They don't realize that they are toxic. They don't understand that, but I do. So I love myself enough to step away. And right now, I speak to my mom, and if I don't speak to her, I don't. There are days that we talk. There are days that we don't talk. Sometimes we go weeks for not talking. But it's better than hearing, let me tell you about so-and-so. And girl, let me tell you what happened. And you need to get over here and do this. I'm tired of that. I was so tired of that. I was so exhausted from hearing that all the time that I had to literally cut it off. I wanted to work on my healing. And that's what I did. Because I love myself enough to work on me. They don't love themselves enough. They want to keep that toxic behavior. And guess what? They can keep it. But I can't do it with them. Number 2, it helps with your mental health issues. Going back to having people that are toxic in your life. When you start practicing self-love, you will now start doing things that are good for your mental health. You now decide that, you know what, this triggers me, so I'm going to leave it alone. I know the things that trigger me. You know, perfect example. My husband said some things to me yesterday that triggered me. And I had to say to him, I will call you back. I can't talk right now. I'm not in a good mood. I'm not feeling right today. I'm feeling not in the right way. And I'm going to need to take some time. And I hung up the phone. Not that I don't love my husband. Not that me and him are not married and, you know, I'm giving him the silent treatment. But I needed that day. And I was not going to let him continue to trigger me because he was upset about something. And remember, people who hurt people. Unhealed people will trigger you. My husband needs therapy. I love him to death, but he needs therapy. I'm in therapy for everybody else who needs therapy. So when he's not having a good day, he has a tendency to bring it to me and to take it out on me. Now he's not abusive or anything like that. He just feels like, okay, well, she's right here, so I'm gonna do this to her. And I have to back up. No. This is not what you're gonna do today. And so we're working on that because, you know, I told him, we talked about it this morning. When I felt better this morning, I said, hey, you will not try that again. I'm tired of that behavior. You're gonna have to get it together when things don't work out for you. And this is more about my husband is a truck driver, so every time his truck is broke, he is in a panic, depressed, aggravated mode. And so I had to explain to him, only because that's your only identity. See, his truck career is his identity. And he has no other identity. So when things are not working right with that truck, he has a tendency to call me, and you know he'll start he don't literally nitpick, but he'll do little slick stuff so that he can start an argument, so that I can feel just as miserable as he does. I stopped it yesterday. I stopped it because this is not going to happen, sir. Not today. Not on my time. You trigger me, goodbye. And I didn't talk to him for like 5 hours, and I was okay with that. So he finally called and was like, you good? I sure am. I'm good. And guess what? It stopped an argument that we could have had. The old me, the unhealed me, would have went off on him. MF this, MF that. Who the hell you talking? I would have went off. The old unhealed me would have went off. But I didn't do that because my mental health now is more my concern. And he was going to trigger that yesterday, and I had to back away. Okay? I love him. He loves me. Now today we're best of friends. We are best of friends today. Like me and him, we talking all because his truck is fixed too. Okay, but I let him have it this morning. I said, hey, we're not doing this. It's not what we're gonna do, because I had to teach him how to treat me. And you are not gonna treat me like the punching bag when things don't go your way. Meaning, you can't talk to me like this. Now, like I said, he's a great dude, but sometimes I have to nip him in the bud because my mental health comes first. Now, the old me, like I said, would have just went off on him. We would have had a knockout, drag out argument. We would have said some things we had no business saying to each other. We would have hung up. I would have never talked to him for like 5-6 days. And, you know, and right now he's in another state and I'm here. But even if he was in the house, we would not talk for like a week. That's no way to have a marriage. Okay, that's why I know I needed to heal. This is why I know I needed to take care of myself first, so that I can learn how to, put an extinguish it and extinguish the fire. So self-love is important for your mental health. The third one, it motivates you to take care of your goals. When you start treating yourself good, you want to accomplish everything you set out to do. You want to do everything. It's setting when you are practicing self-love, you will go out and start saying, I need to do this because I need to do that. I need to do. You're just gonna be doing things. Today, I practiced some self-love. I went walking today for lunchtime. I did some cleaning up in my craft room. I was just started tackling goals today. Okay, I was writing down my notes. I was doing things I need to do in my office. Because I love myself enough to say, these are the goals that I set for myself. I have to get these things done. I have to get my businesses running like I want them to. And when you start to practice self-love, you feel better. You will see, because now you don't have none of that baggage on you. I don't have my parents' baggage. I don't have my coworkers' baggage. Well, I don't have a coworker, but you get what I'm saying. I don't have friends' baggage. I don't have, I don't have anything on me. I don't have a seat, and I don't have that argument. What if I had that argument that what if it was an argument yesterday? I'll be now sitting around pouting, upset. But guess what? I had none of that because I practiced self-love. So today I got up, I did what I needed to do. As you can see, I got my hair done. Well, I fixed my hair. I threw on a little bit of makeup. I got up and I did some things. I put on some clothes today because I do practice self-love every day of the week, but I practice it so much that now it comes natural. So today was a self-love day. I cleaned up. I started doing things I needed to do for my goals, accomplishing the goals that I have on my list. And if you go back to listening to some of my lives, I was talking about those bold goals. Remember, one of my bold goals was to show up every single Tuesday from now, or from January to December. So I needed to be here for this today. This was a goal that I wanted to accomplish by being here. Now, what if I hadn't practiced self-love? What if I was still upset from yesterday? What if this morning I had let somebody get into my spirit? What if I had so much baggage that I couldn't even perform and get over here to you all today? But I don't. My mind, I have things going on, and what I have to get through to you all's head is your problems are not going to go away because you practice self-love. Things are not going to magically be better because I'm not going to tell you that everything is better, but I handle stuff better. I know how to cope better. Yes, I still got 10 things on my mind right now. There's something I got, like I explained to you all last week. I'm making a huge decision right now. I am literally about to make a change in my life that you all will know about in a little while. But I'm about to do that. So I got all of that up here. But when I practice self-love, it gives me a chance to think about those things. My mind is not as cloudy because I don't have other people's baggage. I don't have my husband's baggage. I don't have my son's baggage. I love my son to death. He'll be 26 years old at the end of this month. He is my little pride and joy. That's my dude. Me and him rock. But guess what? I don't tolerate his crap either. Because he can be kind of messy and aggravating too. But I put stuff in perspective. Hey, son, this is not what we're going to do. So I don't have his baggage. I don't have my family's baggage. I don't have anybody's baggage because I practice self-love. I don't have baggage from people I know on Facebook. I don't have baggage from my sorrows. I don't have baggage with my friends. I don't have any of that because I practice self-love. I don't practice it during the month of February. I practice it January, February, March, April, May. Every month, every day of the week. Yesterday, I knew that I was practicing self-love by taking a nap and by not answering my phone, by not I was present in my moment. I wasn't present on Facebook. I wasn't present, on the computer doing anything else. I was practicing self-love yesterday. And when I decided that my husband was about to trigger me, I pulled back. Practicing self-love will have you doing that stuff. You will now know you'll pick your battles appropriately. You won't argue and be combative all the time. Because I walked around so mean and so hateful. If somebody said something on Facebook and I thought it was about me, even though it wasn't even about me, probably, I would be all up in that. I used to walk around, and that's why I enjoyed my family, because we all were toxic together. So when I was cussing and fussing, they were cussing and fussing. And I enjoyed that. I was codependent on that type of behavior. But when I started practicing self-love, I decided that I can't live like this. Because when you're not practicing self-love, you're worried, you're depressed, your anxiety is always high, your blood pressure is high. Trust me, I know. You always feel like you're anxious and you just can't think straight. Everything is so disorganized. I didn't like that feeling. I couldn't stand that feeling anymore. I couldn't get anything done when I was in that way. I didn't work on my goals. I've always been transparent with you all. When I tell you my coaching business should have been off the ground 2 years ago. But because I was so involved in toxic stuff, because I would let people get in my ear, I would let people guilt trip me. You just can't leave your family. I mean, again, are we in the mob? Is this a mafia type crap? No, 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 no. I can leave my family if they're toxic. Because I would want them to leave me alone if I was the same way, which I was toxic. I know for a fact I was toxic. That's who I was. I thrived off being toxic. That was who I was. I enjoyed toxic behavior. I enjoyed it. But it was so exhausting. It was exhausting. And I didn't like feeling like that. I was losing weight. I wasn't journaling like I was supposed to. I wasn't taking care of my skin. And I'll get into all of that these next couple of days about taking care of yourself. Because when you're stressed, your skin will tell you you're stressed. Your body will start to tell you you're stressed. You will look stressed. And that's how I was. And I enjoyed that at that time. But I knew I needed to change some things. And I knew that I wanted to practice self-love. And back then, when I was practicing self-love, when I used to try it back then, I would take myself on trips or I would go shopping. And I would hear people say, well, why are you going shopping? You need to save your money. Or why are you going on trips by yourself? That's so stupid. You know what? And I let all those people talk me out of doing those things for me. When I knew that those things made me feel good. But what it was is they couldn't do it. So they didn't want me to do it either. Because again, they wanted me to remain toxic. Because me remaining toxic meant they had control over me. They had control over my mind. They had control over what I did in my life. But when I started practicing self-love, when I got away from them, I had no more problems. And again, my mother called me about a week ago, tried to involve me in some crap. I said, no ma'am. No ma'am, this is not going to happen, sis. I love you, but we're not doing this today. Boundaries. Yes, you can set boundaries with your mother. Yes, she is the head. She is your mom. She birthed you. Yes, just like my son. I birthed my son, but I know my boundaries. We talk about that. I don't overstep my boundaries with my kid because it happened to me for so long that I decided I was not going to take that type of toxic relationship into it with my son. So me and my son set boundaries. I step away and me and him do each other. You know, we have our little spats, then we keep it moving. Because I set boundaries. Because I practice self-love. You know, there are days when he says, Ma, I don't want to talk today. I'm not, I'm just, come on, can we talk later? Okay, have a good day, son. I hope you feel better. He'll call me the next day. Because I set boundaries. I taught him how to set boundaries, but you can set boundaries with your mother. You can set boundaries with your family members, co-workers, church members. Set boundaries. And I'll be talking about boundaries and stuff in the next couple of days too, about how to set those boundaries, how to stick to those boundaries and not feel guilty. So I no longer feel guilty. I like I said, I love everybody, but you will not come into my life, abuse me, and then walk away. You're not doing that anymore. I love myself too much to put myself through that again. And this is why self-love is so important, because you have to take care of your health. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else is going to take care of you. You die today or tomorrow after fooling with everything and everybody, taking on everybody's baggage. They're going to bury you and they're going to still be the same way. They're just going to move to somebody else and put it on them. Now you dead from their baggage. They going to still be alive. Evil people always seem to flourish. I don't know why that is, but they do. I just don't know why, but they do. Self-love is important. It's important for your mental health. It teaches people how to treat you. It helps motivate you to do better. It helps motivate you to say, I want better for my life. I'm going to do this. But you're going to have to keep people out of your ear. You're going to have to keep people at a distance. You can love somebody through the phone. You don't have to go see them. You don't have to go to every family function. You don't have to go to every church thing. You don't have to do this. You can set boundaries because you love yourself. If your church is toxic, leave your church. You can say, now we got it online. Look at your church online. If you don't like sitting in the church because it's so toxic and you feel something off about their vibes, watch it online. There are so many things you can do to help yourself. You don't have to stay in relationships that are not good for your mental health. And I'm so happy that I started practicing self-love, because yesterday could have been a disaster, but it wasn't. Like I said this morning, I did get hold of hubby. I said what I had to say, but guess how I said it? Calmly. I said it in a great way that we kind of laughed it off, and he, of course, he was still denying that he did. I don't do that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because my husband's one of those people who thinks he's never wrong. Like, oh my God, he ain't never wrong. he's never wrong. But I told him what I needed to say. I said it nicely. We kind of laughed it off, and now it's done. But if I hadn't been practicing self-love, if I hadn't started my healing journey, yesterday could have been so different. Yesterday could have been so different. If I didn't start practicing self-love, when my mother called me about some drama that was going on with some other family member, the old me would have picked up and ran right on over there. And I said, nah, this ain't happening. I'm not doing it. And I straight up told her, next, what else do you want to talk about? Or do we need to hang up now? Because if that was the only reason why you called me, you failed. I'm not doing it. I love you, sis. I love you, girl. You my chica. But nope, don't want your drama. Don't want your drama. Because I practice self-love. I love myself enough to say, I don't want this behavior. Yes, it gets lonely sometimes when you see, people all on Facebook with their family members, especially during Christmas time. And now it's about to be the summer. So you're going to see family barbecues. You're going to see, all of the people, in t-shirts and, family reunions. Yes. Father's Day comes up, I get depressed. Mother's Day comes up, I get depressed. Yes, it's going to happen. But I be in my mind thinking about like, okay, y'all can celebrate Mother's Day, but I know mine. And I keep it moving. I find something to do on those days when I know that I may be triggered. Father's Day triggers me. So I don't get on Facebook during Father's Day. I don't do it. I do something else until that day passes by. I celebrate my husband and my son on those days. I celebrate them. I cook dinner. I buy them something. I celebrate them. There are ways that you can avoid all of those things and still take care of yourself and still treat yourself with respect. And you can teach people to do the same thing, because I have. It works. Self-love is important. You need to practice it every single day, not just the month of February, but every month, every year, 365 days. You need to practice self-love because it's important to you. And that's it. That is it. Woo, that was a mouthful. And I think I'm telling y'all, I get, happy when I do these Tuesday talks, because a lot of that, a lot of my life is incorporated in my coaching. A lot of my life is incorporated in my lives. I don't pretend to be one way on camera and then a different way behind the scenes. I walk you through what goes on in my life because I am you. I was you. I had to learn how to get through this stuff too. Just because today I felt good. I'm feeling good today. I look good today. Yesterday, I couldn't say the same thing. So and what I have to tell people is these are coping skills. These are not skills that are going to make your problems go away. It's not going to make things go away. If that's what you're looking for, and that's another reason why a lot of people come to me and they quit the coaching in the middle of their coaching sessions, because they want things to work to the point where it's going to, no, it's not going to work like that. And things don't work if you stop trying. If you keep starting, trying, it's not going to work. Be consistent in healing yourself. Be consistent with your healing. Be consistent on trying to get back to the you. And you know what? No, it's not going to be the you used to be, because I don't want to be the you I used to be. I like the new me. The new me that doesn't tolerate foolishness. The new me that doesn't like toxic behavior. The new me that knows how to diffuse a situation. Yes, and thank you're so welcome, Sarah. I mean, I am, like I tell, I'm an open book. I do this because the day that I was in the hospital, I tell the story all the time. When I was sitting in that hospital, and when we had to do that journal, we had to do a journaling class for our coping skills, one of our coping skills. And they told us, what would you do if you get out of here tomorrow? And I wrote that I would never let another woman suffer the way I did. And I meant that. So when I come to you all, it's not, no, everything is not going to be fine next week. It might not be fine 5 months from now, but it will be, because I'm not the way I used to be a year ago or 2 years ago. I was a wreck, but now I know how to cope. So yesterday was a bad day. I did what I needed to do. Now here's today. Things are not better per se, in my life, of the things that are going on. There's still things going on, but now I don't make it so bad that I can't function. And that's how I was doing. I wasn't able to function, and I now know how to cope. So a lot of these things that I'm teaching you are just coping skills so that you can get on your journey. Again, if I hadn't have been healed and if I hadn't have been using coping skills, yesterday could have went badly. I could have said something I should have said to him to me, and we would be arguing right now. I don't want to live like that. I knew that yesterday was not a good day for me. He knew that. We talked about it, and in the day, we're done. Same thing with mama. Hey, girl, I'm not doing your toxic stuff. Healing is about healing you and you only. You can't bring people with you. And some people will probably drop off. And I'll talk about what it's like to be lonely. I'll talk about what it's like when you do see things on Facebook. I'm going to get into all of that stuff during these next couple of days. But be prepared when you're healing to go it alone, because everybody's not going to understand you're healing. But trust me, they would be so much better off for it. My family doesn't realize that I am so much better than I used to be, because some things I want to do to them people, but I'm not that. I'm healed. Well, I'm not healed, but healing. But I am healed from the old behaviors. I can say that. I'm healed from those toxic traits. I'm healed from those behaviors that I used to have because I was in a toxic relationship with them. Healing is about you. Self-love is about you. It's a deliberate act that you do for yourself. So deliberately get up every single day and practice self-love. All right? that's it, guys. I'm gonna probably be back on here Thursday. For the next 14 days, I'll probably hop on a little bit more just to, talk about some of these self-love things and setting boundaries. So I'm gonna hop back on. So make sure you set your notifications or your YouTube notifications when you are listening to these, or just let me know in the replay that you caught the replay. So I probably will be back on here Thursday or Friday. No, Friday I'm going live for, don't forget to tune in Friday for Transform You in 2022 for the second part of my 3-part series, Healing You Financially, Mentally, and Spiritually. Because this Friday I'm having a financial advisor that I'll be having a discussion with, who I'll be interviewing, and she'll give us some tips that we can start using to get ourselves financially fit for, at the beginning of the year. And I definitely wanted that to be something that you all could see from different coaches. So I'll be talking to her on Friday at noon. So stay tuned for that on Friday. Until then, you all have a great rest of the week. Remember to set boundaries. Remember to practice self-love. Go out and buy you some flowers. Go buy your favorite ice cream or your favorite food. If you want to eat pizza today, go eat it. If that's what you want to do, go do it. Okay? Remember to practice self-love today, all day, every day, not just in February, but every single day, month in this year. All right? So I'll see you guys back here Friday or Thursday. Well, definitely Friday and Thursday. Yeah, I think I'll do Thursday. Yeah, I think I'll do Thursday. We'll see. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.